Welcome back to the Half a Day Show. I'm your host, Jay Half a Day, the flyest man on the internet, and we are here for another episode of the Weekly Roundup Part 3. With that being said, let's get it started.
Is this camera on me?
I hope so.
And as you can see, I'm in a new location. I'm out of the doghouse and I'm at my girlfriend's house. So if the lighting's ass, this ain't the studio. So you get what you give. Yeah. We gonna leave it there. Like I said, we back on track and everything is good. It's good to see y'all, by the way. Last week, y'all did a phenomenal job. It didn't flop. And I'm glad y'all actually care about what I have to say. I'm trying my best to be consistent with this. We done pumped out 2 episodes per week, and we're gonna keep on track with that. Weekly roundups every Tuesday, and then every Friday I'm doing an interview throughout the rest of the year until I start school back. But we're going to start off a little lighthearted and then work our way into it, because this episode might piss a lot of y'all off. It's going to be very political, and I believe that you should put out all your opinions up front before your audience goes somewhere crazy. That way you guys can't be surprised and say, oh, when did you start getting political? Been that. Don't get it confused. That's what this platform is about. It's for us, by us. You know what I'm saying? But before we get there, we got to talk about some funny things that I had thought of last week, but I didn't make a video on it. So you guys are getting the exclusive scoop on it. Date night food. I think that's a hilarious topic. Whenever you go on Instagram Reels and you see a video and it has a certain music, hopefully I can put it in the background, but as soon as you hear that music, you automatically know the food is going to be ass. That place is 90% vibes, and the food is probably not going to give you what you need out of it. You might not even eat, to be honest with you. Customer service is probably going to be terrible, and it's literally just for content. You go to places like that just for content. If you want to actually eat, if you hear that music, run. Other funny things that happened last week that aren't really funny. They're more serious than anything. Drake decided that he's going to drop not 1, but 2 lawsuits on UMG. And that is actually unheard of in hip hop. I was on live with Source last week and we were talking about it at length. I honestly don't know where that's going to go. Like, Drake, I don't know what your end game is here. And it's very hard to be a fan of you when you're doing stuff like this. I don't think it's some noble conquest of the man versus, Drake versus the man. I'm like, man, you done benefited from the man. How you going to go up against them and claim all these other things when you were probably one of the main ones benefiting from that bot button, so to speak? Allegedly. A lot. Aubrey's Angels, don't y'all come at me. I've been a part of y'all. I've been y'all lieutenant for a minute. But that was some whole shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Was that the red button that Drake was talking about? I'ma sue you button? It's kind of crazy. And a lot of people on the internet are like literally like calling them out on it. Like, Joe Budden, this is probably your only valid crash out against Drake. Like, you've been hating for some years now, but this one is valid. And I'm loving every second of it, boss. But y'all know what else I love? And like I said, we're going to keep this lighthearted before we get into some of this political shit that I got to talk about. Because I also love hate comments. Like, I know that might be weird, but like, I enjoy seeing them. Like, honestly, I think I enjoy seeing hate comments more than I enjoy seeing like positive ones, because like it gives me the opportunity to like be a dickhead back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy finding new ways of making people look dumb. And the people that are leaving these hate comments never get it. They never understand what I'm doing, like with their comments. They literally think they're getting under my skin. The whole time I'm trolling them back. I'm like, bro, you can't, you know what I'm saying? I used to get really irritated when people like used to like call me names or pick at my mustache or some shit. But now I'm like, this is engagement. Y'all are literally about to hate me into, like, you know, I gained 1,000 followers last year for making a video about Elon Musk. I did not think, first of all, that video was going to do as well as it did. Literally, I have been hating on Elon Musk for like a year now. I've never seen someone fall from grace as hard as Elon Musk has. And it low-key sucks, because it's like, growing up, like in middle school and high school, I was really researching and investing into all the things that Elon was doing. And then you come into high school and then you come into college and the veil like gets pulled back and you get to see what's really going on with these people that you think are great. No, he was never great. And I made a video calling him an idiot. And a lot of people agree with me, but a lot of people disagreed with me. And I think that's tied up in the fact that people think that the more money you have, the smarter you are. Couldn't be further from the truth, folks. Like, yeah. I think I did some research on it. I didn't say I was going to make a bunch of videos on it, and I said I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just say it in the roundup. But like the richest person 200 years ago got rich off of selling people that look like me. Do y'all think that's smart? Was he smart because he had slaves? Real talk though. Like I said, this is going to get very deep. I don't think Elon Musk is smart at all. But my general critique of Elon Musk actually stems from a philosophical thing. I don't think it's smart to be greedy. I don't think it's smart to, gamble on politics. I don't think it's smart to peddle misinformation. I don't think it's smart to, be any of the phobias. I don't think it's smart to be to really lean into bigotry and shit like that. All of these things, Elon Musk has really made a focal point on his platform X. Like he platforms people that really push these certain narratives and stuff like that. Above all those other things, I don't think it's smart to be a victim of propaganda. I don't think it's smart to be being manipulated by foreign countries. Like you can't be a genius in literally being controlled or manipulated by Russia. Allegedly. I'm just saying, folks, if you guys think all of these right-wing Republican influencers are brilliant, do your research on where they're getting their information from. And if they don't actually believe that and they're just putting this information out here, putting their talking points out here, then they're either one of two things. Either they're an idiot or they're evil. One or the other. I lean towards people being dumber than being evil, but that might just be the optimist in me. But Elon Musk, and I'm going to say it again, is a fucking idiot. Let's move along with that. Speaking of other whites that y'all care about, I don't give a damn that President Biden pardoned that crackhead. Real talk. Pardoning his son for all the shit that he done did was probably the lowest of low-hanging fruit that he could have reached for when it came to pardons. Real talk. Literally, y'all just elected a felon. I do not give a fuck that he pardoned his son. I would have been did it. And what about it? Y'all gave the nigga immunity. What are we really talking about here? So, it's really crazy. We have a president whose son is a crackhead. I feel like Stephen A. Smith. Hunter Biden was smoking crack. I don't give a fuck if he got pardoned, y'all. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Donald Trump was never going to jail, people. That was very wishful thinking. I think this might be one of the only things I might agree with Republicans on when it came to all of those charges and shit like that. A lot of those charges were definitely a witch hunt. I'm not going to lie to y'all. But I think a layer of analysis that a lot of these pundits and internet personalities forget when they're talking about politics and when they're talking about Trump and things like that is that the state of this country is incredibly polarized. And you have to think about the third and fourth level repercussions of every decision you make when it comes to these type of people. Everything has to rise to the level of a national security issue. Otherwise, you're shortchanging yourself when it comes to your analysis. What would happen if you sent Donald Trump to jail? How would the country react? How would other countries react? What does that look like for the political and social climate in this country? They literally stormed the Capitol because he said that they stole the election. What do you think would happen if he went to jail? Seriously. Or the other thing that people conspiring about or theorizing that, Democrats put a hit out on Donald Trump. Real talk. If they did that for Stop the Steal, and we know what they would do if he went to jail, what do you think would happen if he was assassinated? Are we thinking here? Are we using our minds? Yes, politics is supposed to be, somewhat competitive. And yes, there are rules and laws that we have to abide by. But in the grand scheme of things, folks, there are certain lines that you can't cross, certain thresholds. Like Democrats and Republicans constantly cede power to one another. Like it's always a game of tug of war. You're never really winning. Neither side is never really winning. We never lean too far right or never lean too far left. That's the way that we keep our country like stable. The most stable we can be is in the middle. Real talk. And this would probably be the closest we've been to leaning in one direction or the other with the complete monopolization of all branches of government, which is different, but I still trust that the government works the way that it works. It's a bureaucracy, you know what I'm saying? And there are certain levels and certain systems in place to prevent either party from taking too much power in government. And Republicans are going to be in for a culture shock when they see that they had the trifecta and shit still didn't materially change for poor and working class people. That's going to be the thing that tips the iceberg. And we'll really have to lean into a populist type of rhetoric when it comes to campaigning, because both sides, left and right, will be fed up equally by the establishment. They thought a lot of people voted for Donald Trump because of the people around him. They think that his administration will come in and he'll really like clean up shop, which is what everybody wants, which is what most of America wants. Everybody's tired of the political game. But y'all voted for the wrong person to go and do that. Not to say that Kamala was going to unravel the administrative state, but Donald Trump damn sure ain't. Stronger, richer, and more affluent and more intelligent people have tried to do the same thing and were unsuccessful. That's the thing that I think Republicans get confused here. MAGA Republicans get confused here. No one person is bigger than the system. No one person is more powerful than the Constitution. No one person is stronger than the republic that we have here. And maybe that's me putting too much trust into these systems, but if you think other powerful people who have vested interests in this country are going to let Donald Trump just come in and wreck ship and mess up their investments and mess up their hold of whatever power they might have, you're wrong. Like, other billionaires have money too. It's not just Elon. And realistically, if if they really want to get shit cracking, like the second and third richest people in the world, or even the fourth and fifth, if they pull their money together and they say, you know, we're not going to let Elon just come in and do all the shit that he wants to do, our money works just the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think the person with the most money has the most say. That's not really the case. Like, people with a lot of money also have interests here. And we're not just going to let their money get burnt up because of one person. Like, that was a long ramble and rant, and I have more thoughts on it. I'm gonna come back later to it, but I just wanted to put that out here. We can't forget that national security is still important in this country. And yeah, the average voter doesn't even like consider these things when they're thinking about like who they're voting for and what the implications of how elections can impact their future 10, 20, 30 years from now. I think Democrats actually did something very smart this election. They planted seeds for a candidate that would actually maintain the status quo long term. Like, playing the strategy that they did sets up a norm that when things get worse or when things don't go the way that Republican voters want them to, they can say, oh, maybe we should have voted for a candidate like that. It might not be Kamala next time, but the values that Kamala ran on will definitely be repeated in the future. And I think they ran that campaign for a reason, too, because if she went all in on calling people Nazis, calling people, you know, national security threats, calling people Russian assets, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would really, like, charge her base up to go out and vote for her. But at the same time, it furthers the divide between the left and the right. And that's not good for security. So Democrats probably knew they might have lost this election or were going to lose this election, but they did it intentionally for the sake of the integrity of America. Somebody has to care about the integrity of American politics. Unfortunately, it ends up being the Democrats every time. But, once the Republicans see that their party can't govern, I think more people will actually end up being more liberal leaning in the long term, in the long run. But moving along to our next topics, that also leads right into the next thing, which is that, hold on, I'm not answering that, which is that Democrats will likely never lean all the way left. Like, it's more likely that they'll actually continue to play the centrist game for what I just said. Like, a populist Democrat, I don't know if a populist Democrat would ever win in my lifetime. I'm not sure. It's possible, honestly. Like, if we're talking about what the institutional powers hate more, I think they hate a true leftist more than they hate an evil Republican, to be honest with you. Because a true leftist would definitely unravel the administrative state in a productive way as opposed to a Republican. They know Republicans just care about making their bottom line and catching their dollar. An actual leftist Democrat would actually be trying to change systems to benefit the working class, which inherently disenfranchises or cuts out the billionaire class's grasp on power. It makes them less money because they need poor people to stay poor people. This is very deep. I ain't made one joke yet, y'all, because I'm dead serious. Like, these are things that actually matter to me, and I think about them long term. But we're going to lighten up a little bit because it's gotten cold as fuck. Like, it's legit chilly, and that means one thing if you're living in the DMV, that the DC girlies are about to pull out them damn Yerky feet. Soon as that weather drop below 20 degrees, they bring out the Chewbacca 11s. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Them big ass fucking Ugg boots or them big ass boots with the loose moose hair covered all over the shit. I don't even know what it is. Boots with the fur. No apple bottom jeans. I hate it. We'll be right back after this message.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You broke
my back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
When it comes to the damn Apple Replay or the Spotify Rap, I am probably 100% certain that Kendrick Lamar might be my most listened to artist by the end of the year. And I don't see that slowing down. I had a conversation the other day with my boy Miles about this shit. Like, I think Drake definitely underestimated him, like, when it came to his strategy with this whole beef shit. Like, he thought he was going Meek Mill Kendrick Lamar, and that shit ain't gonna work. Like, this is probably the second biggest artist, well, hip hop artist in the game right now, even if he isn't dropping music regularly. When it comes to like status and acclaim and like reverence as an artist, like, it goes Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. There's a reason why they're the big three, because of their star power. They're all A-listers. Like, Meek Mill was hot for the time, but like long term, Nicki Minaj was the bigger artist than him. Like, you can't have the same copy and paste strategy when it comes to all these artists. Even Pusha T, he definitely lost the beef with Pusha T, but like, we let him get away with a lot of that shit because it's Push. But when an artist like Kendrick, who's at the same level as you, is literally at your neck saying these things, like, there's going to be impact felt for time to come. So like, when it came to like the 100 gig shit that he was dropping over the summer, these are good tracks, but we still ain't get over like the shit that Kendrick Lamar was putting out. So it's not going to die over. So I don't even think he cares anymore about saving face as far as like the culture is concerned. He's trying to save his pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing he can salvage. He's trying to get a little bit of change out of this, and then he might just retire from making music overall. Or he goes independent and rides off into the sunset with his white hip hop fans. I don't know. But when it comes to Kendrick Lamar's album, GNX is a good project. I know last week I said I was at a 7.8, but I think this is a solid 8.5. It's still very low on my list of Kendrick projects, but yeah, this is it's great. I've been spamming it, and I love a lot of tracks on there. But I think I'm correct in saying that this is definitely not the album. I think this might be one half of a double album that we're going to get. And a lot of, Kendrick theorists have been online saying there are certain things that point to him dropping another project. if we get another project before the end of the year, we are in great shape. That Super Bowl might be a generational performance, and I'm looking forward to it. But in terms of music, I'm mad at y'all for not telling me about this guy sooner. El Miene, or whatever his name is. He kind of looks like Boz, but he sings like Brent Faiyaz, and I am a fan of him now. I hope I pronounced your name right, bro, but you got it. Like, R&B is not dead. It's alive and well, and it's well in the hands of El Miene. That guy, his pen, immaculate. His flow, immaculate. Beat selection, immaculate. I'm glazing, but it's all right because his music is fire. Shout out to him. And when I say go tap into his music, that's definitely solid advice. And y'all should take that because I'm 27 now, which makes me Unk or Unk adjacent, I guess. Y'all been calling me Unk since I was 22. Like, but I think that's another underarching, problem there. Gen Z, which I'm a part of, I'm probably the oldest Gen Zer. Y'all stopped listening to Unk. Y'all made Unk corny. Like, this is the reason why y'all in the fucking right wing pipeline, the alt-right pipeline. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stop listening to y'all dads. Y'all stop listening to Unk, your older cousins and shit. Y'all made taking advice corny. And now all y'all get y'all shit, all information y'all get is Russian propaganda. Like, I feel bad for y'all. Like, my age and older, we were probably the last bit of people that know how to actively seek out good sources of information. Like, yeah, I'm on this whole track on TikTok with the reverse red pill thing, and it's really a goal of mine to teach young men how to be better young men. Because some of the role models that y'all look up to, like the Myron Gaines, the Nick Fuentes, the Aiden Rosses, the Joe Rogans, like, literally, they are Russian assets, folks. Like, it doesn't get less manly than that. Your grandparents would be ashamed of you for listening to them. Real talk. Like, it's so un-American. Like, I know I'm a liberal leftist and all that thing, but I do care about the integrity of this country. And a lot of the people that y'all listening to don't. They're not patriots. They don't care about America. They just care about their pockets. And it's sad. And it shows. And a lot of y'all are falling for that shit. Like, real talk. Y'all need to learn how to be better men. And I'm going to show y'all how to be better men. First one comes with having personal integrity. Take ownership of what you're consuming. Make sure the information that you're getting is viable, that it's valid. Question the source. These are tenets of research 101. Like, what is this person trying to gain by saying this thing to me? Even question me. What do I have to prove by telling you guys these things? I'm not trying to like brainwash you guys. I'm trying to unbrainwash you guys. Just like, I know we want to believe in independent media, but the good thing about like traditional media sources is that these are people who are trained journalists. These people like have codes of ethics that they have to adhere to. The people on Twitter, the people on the podcast do not have to adhere to any standards when it comes to reporting information to you. They don't even hide their bias. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, I'm very left leaning, but I can call a spade a spade. Like, I can call when things are inaccurate. I can call when things are, not a good sign. Speaking of not a good sign, Bernie Sanders damn near like endorsing Elon Musk. Horrible. I would never say Elon Musk is right. There are better ways of saying that. Like saying that you could just say that the government is inefficient. That's a fact. The Department of Defense has failed their audits the last 9 times. That's a fact. But to say that Elon Musk is right in the need for cleaning up the government when he's literally trying to unravel our country by way of Vladimir Putin, Bernie Sanders, you should be a fucking ashamed of yourself. I'm ashamed of, being a fan of you and what you stand for. Like, that, you've really let me down. Real talk. But, yeah, Elon Musk is not coming in to save the government. He is literally a Putin puppet. He's sent here by Putin so that we can self-destruct because their economy is collapsing right in front of us. Biden and Putin playing 3D chess with us right now. Biden's proxy war with Ukraine turned out to be very successful. I underestimated it up front, but this was the end goal, the collapse of the Russian economy. I'm not sure if they'll ever be able to recover from it. And Putin's long game was betting on Elon and Trump and Vance and all these right-wing influencers. Destruction from within. We'll see how that plays out in the next 4 years. I hope that his gamble was incorrect. But y'all need to really start looking into the things a little bit more seriously. And y'all need to start listening to y'all uncles again. Even if they might be wrong, the wisdom that you get from age is worth listening to. Y'all are listening to people that are younger than you or the same age as you because they're richer than you. Being rich does not make you smart. It does not make you a genius, folks. The sooner you guys realize that, the better off you will be. Moving along to our next topic. But I'm gonna stay in there. I'm gonna stand there on that. And I think this is an unpopular opinion that I have. I don't want to be rich. Like, I don't give a fuck about money. I got plenty of it. I've made plenty of it. I could care less if I have a oodles and bajoodles of money. I really don't. Money is a vehicle, folks. Like, it's not meant to be a destination. It's supposed to get you where you need to go. You don't need to have a bunch of it. You just need to have enough to sustain yourself and your family. That's what everybody should strive for. Nothing in excess of that. I don't want to be a billionaire. I don't want to be a millionaire. If I can make millions and billions and give it back to the people that need it, I would do that. 100%. I actually think it's quite foolish to be greedy. Like, I think that's honestly my main critique of people like Elon Musk and any of these other billionaires. Like, it is stupid to be that greedy. Once you reach a certain threshold of having money, you don't need any more. You don't need to like be aggressive in your strategy. Your family's straight. Their families are straight. And you have like control over like literal infrastructure. What more do you need? Why are you gambling on politics now? Do you want power? You have whatever you want and you're still not satisfied. I think that's stupid. And it lacks a level of certain self-awareness. That's the main reason why I think Elon Musk is dumb. He's not self-aware and he's greedy. I think that makes you an idiot. We're moving along. I think that's it for the political content on this episode. I'm going to be really quick with Dune Prophecy episode 3. Like I said, regular standing segment here. This episode, probably the worst out of the 3 that we've gotten so far. And it's getting hard to defend this show now. I'll say though, Tula a cold bitch too. My goodness, I thought it was just Vaya or whatever her name is. I thought she's a demon, first of all. But Tula, what she did to the damn Atreides, wow. Yeah, the lore is getting a little bit more expansive, but I need us to stop with the flashbacks and I need us to get back into the actual plot. I like the context that you're adding to these characters, but I need us to move this plot along. What we gonna do about crackhead Leonardo? Bro, just getting away with it right now. You know what I'm saying? The witches doing what they do behind the scenes, but I need some smoke. Now, speaking of smoke, though, they doing whatever with this damn Spice. Bro, the Spice, the shit, I ain't know Spice could do all this shit. She trying to heal old girl whole mind and bring her back from the dead. Is that, like, Spice could do all that? I thought Spice just turned everybody into, yeah. We're going to move along, though. NBA tier list, and we're going to do this in under 1 minute. I think that I moved up. Hold on. Let's see. Uh-oh. Let's see. Hold on. I got it right here. So changes to the NBA tier list. I moved the Cavaliers up. They are first in the East, and they've been playing sustained, consistent basketball. No questions there. I moved the Timberwolves down. They've had some really interesting loss that I think that they should have won, and they don't really look like championship contenders right now. I think that trade with Karl Anthony Towns is honestly starting to show its face here, and I put them right at the cusp of being a contender. They're still going to be a playoff lock for sure, but I don't know if they're guaranteed to make it to the Western Conference Finals, which means we might not get the Aura Bowl. Unfortunate. Speaking of Aura, Giannis Antetokounmpo has proven himself time and time again to be the best player in the world. It's not that fat, sloppy Slovenian or wherever the hell he's from, the Balkans, somewhere in the Balkan Mountains. Yeah, no. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. They might be 1A, 1B, and I might be biased because, but Giannis is on a generational run right now. We can't ignore that. He's brought his team back from the dead to being competitive in the Eastern Conference right now, while Jokic is doing the same thing in the Western Conference, which is way tougher. But like I said, I got bias, and I'm not going to hide it. The Rockets are back up in the playoff lock spot. They are number 2 in the West, and they just beat my Thunder. That was convincing enough. Ime Udoka, Coach of the Year, calling it right now. If they can finish top 3 in the West, I don't see why Sengun doesn't get MIP or something like that. But the Rockets are a serious team. Defense, offense, they got the whole freaking thing covered. The Grizzlies are back. John Morant is serious. We need to put him back in some of them conversations. I got him right at the cusp of being a playoff lock with the Grizzlies. The Hawks have very convincing wins over the Cavaliers, so they are also in competitive. Another week of playing like this, and I might move them up into the playoff lock or right at the line. The Heat haven't moved. I moved the Sixers to the same space, and I think that's it. Behind the Brand episode 22 on Friday, and that's all for the weekly roundup. Education, entertainment, and everything in between. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.